What is up, Retromaniacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And I'm joined by two men that always pay for their winning bids on eBay, even if they're trying to shill bid them. They are, of course, Joe Day and EP Eric Malik. How you doing, guys?
I have no comment.
I've never shill bid.
I've never shill bid either, but I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at there, Mike.
Oh, what is new, gentlemen? Joe, how you feeling this week? You seem a little more peppy.
Eagle-eyed viewers. Come on. Hold on here.
Wow.
It has won. It's been a while.
Worthy of the celebration.
I got my pick koozie.
Wow.
I got my pit hat. Kenny's spinning. All's right with the world. I will say it is bittersweet, though. It is bittersweet. This is really going to screw up our draft pick next year, but it's nice to get the win. It really is nice to get the win. Do not comment below. I know that draft picks are not given that way in college football. I do know that. It was a joke. But yes, I am feeling a little bit better. I do have a head cold. You might be able to tell that. But the worst is past me. But I think I need some medicine, though, so I'm going to crack open a beer. I'm sure EP can join me for that if he would like, if he hasn't already. There we go. It's been a little while since I've cracked open a beer, so cheers to everyone.
Like a week.
I do have a beer here. This is the Fans Hazy IPA from Rusty Rail Brewing Company in Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. Unofficial sponsor of the podcast. I'm going to try this one out. It's a 5.5%.
This is a 6.6%. This is a hazy IPA from 4 Points, a local brewery here in Pittsburgh. Very tasty. So cheers, EP. Cheers, Mike. Cheers viewers.
Mike.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh, that is some tasty stuff right there.
I got your audio adjusted there too, Joe, because for some reason you were really loud.
Yeah, it came in really hot.
I just looked at your thing and your volume was all the way up.
Well, 200% for that. 200% for that little air horn.
Yeah,
it looks like your volume knobs are up all the way up on your mic there too. Like,
hail to Pitt.
He just wanted to make sure
so excited.
That everybody
I'm just
knew
so happy
that Pitt won.
It was a Thursday night game too, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not even watching it because I was so stressed out. They had been so bad for so long. I'm like, no, they played my boy Yarnell, and I've been saying you gotta play Yarnell. They played him, he won. He's undefeated as a starter, 2-0 over 2 seasons. Just saying.
Okay.
Listen to me, Pat.
I'm
Coach
sure
Narduzzi,
all 8
listen to
of
me.
you that care about that are really excited this week. Oh, what is new, EP?
Well, I worked from home last week, and I had to go to a big box store around here, and I, of course, checked out the retail card selection.
Mm-hmm.
I got a holiday mega box, Topps holiday mega box of baseball. Okay. And ended up getting a Gunnar Henderson with, you can see the lights, and he's got the Christmas lights and stuff. So one of the short prints. So of all the ones to get the short print of, I got the Rookie of the Year in the AL, and I got a regular Gunnar. I actually got a really good box, Corbin Carroll, one of their parallels. Like it was a good box, but there are no inserts in this product. It's all the cards and the parallels. Like there's one insert, it's like game used memorabilia, which is fine, but excuse me, I prefer a few more inserts in my stuff. So, but it was a fun little box to open up, and it had interesting.
Mike and I probably have the same question. EP,
what's that?
You open that up in your car?
Yeah, of course. Well, who doesn't
open
up
a car rip?
Yeah,
gotta do.
Take a picture with that Kia emblem.
Actually, I opened it up in my house, and then went back out to my car to show it off.
As
though I opened it up
right in front of the emblem on the steering wheel on the Kia.
Yeah, look at my rare SP I pulled out of Holiday Mega Box.
Car rips undefeated.
Oh wow, yeah, wow, fantastic. I got finally my 2 boxes of this kit. I feel like I ordered this like 5 years ago. Like it took forever for those to come out.
I feel like we talked about it on the pod like 6 months ago. Seriously.
Yeah, like what? Episode 1, I think.
I think it was episode 1.
It. Yeah. I mean that's where we talk about everything. So yeah. So well, a couple announcements on the channel. I just wanted to take a minute to shout out our old buddy US Sports Cards, because out of the kindness of his own heart, he helped boost our subscribers up over 50 subs, like in a couple days time. So we're closing in on 900 now. When we just hit 800, we didn't even celebrate that. So I don't know. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much for that. And make sure to check out his eBay store
and his Twitter and his YouTube. Like he's got all those
Twitter,
things.
His YouTube. I mean, if I remember to do it, which I probably won't, and I apologize, I would link his eBay store in the comments below, not the comments, in the description below. But if you don't see it there, it's just because I forgot.
And we'll comment. We'll put it in a pinned comment.
Yes, we will pin the comment at some point when I remember it. Oh, I'm actually going to do a little bit of channel news here too. I just want to throw out the schedule for the week because, it's Monday. That means it's podcast day. But Wednesday, due to the success of the Pet Peeves collection of videos, we are going to be giving you your pet peeves this Wednesday. So if you commented on any of those and gave us your pet peeves, we're going to throw them out there and we're going to discuss them. See if you're right or maybe if you're wrong. I mean, I hate to tell you you're wrong, but sometimes people are wrong.
I gotta say, I just want to thank the viewers for validating me and my craziness. Because when we started this series and I went out there, I think you guys probably made fun of me a little bit. Oh, no one's going to agree with yours. People aren't that crazy. It feels good to be validated that other card collectors are as crazy as I am. And even you guys showed your stripes and you showed how crazy you were in your subsequent videos. So yes, all card collectors are a little bit crazy. All card collectors have their little picadillos. And I am so very thankful that I got a little bit of validation with that. I'm not the only crazy one out there. So
you're just mad because you don't like the AI image of you that I used on the thumbnail.
really don't. Okay, since we're gonna bring it up,
let's do it. Let's have
the discussion. That AI image. The two most distinguishing things about me are my glasses and my beard. That AI image had neither of those. Mike's AI image, on the other hand, looked like someone Jason Momoa's wife would leave him for. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, Mike looked amazing, had like these ripped muscles, had this chiseled jaw. I don't even get my beard, my glasses. I mean, come on, I look like EP without glasses on. It was. I will say one more point, and then I'll give the floor back. I almost went as the AI version of me for our Halloween episode. Or the episode that would have released. I was going to shave my beard and do the whole show without glasses. I swear to God. I think I texted EP on the side, and EP was like, do it. And I'm like, no, I can't shave the beard. But that was my thought. Mike, defend yourself, sir.
3 words: full editorial control.
He's the Hulk Hogan of this podcast, people.
I am. I have creative control.
Creative control.
In my defense, that was the first time I started using AI images. Let me tell you, if you haven't done it yet, it's a lot of fun, but it takes a while to come up with anything that is anywhere near what you're really looking for. So I was doing it. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I didn't have like 2 hours to spend just typing in stuff to try to get it to look. So that was the best I had at the time. And, if you noticed the new thumbnail for the podcast,
I do appreciate that one. That one looks great.
I spent a lot of time coming up and trying to get those stupid images just to throw on a thumbnail, like for nothing. Like nobody's going to watch the video just because they see us on there.
I have ideas for those.
In my defense, it's a lot of work. And that was the first one. We've gotten better since then. And again, I have full editorial control.
Hulk Hogan.
You know all about that, EP. You like you at the paper. You are the czar of the paper. I'm kind of
Yep.
Czar.
Czar's a bit much.
That's how Mike looks so damn good in his.
Not a TS, a CZ. Yeah. Are you allowed to say you're a czar anymore? Maybe I'll be canceled now.
No, you can say czar.
Are we
because
okay?
There's like drug czar and like they do czars here too, so you're safe.
I am the editing czar.
Editing czar. Yes. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, back to it too. Also on Friday, we will have 3 more retro cards for your PC. And I don't know, maybe I'll get this on video. The worst part of creating content is when you get in boxes of cards and you really want to rip them, but you have to wait until you're able to record them. So I'll probably have at least, I got 2 of those. Maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll do Joe's. Maybe I'll do like 10 like he did with the Avengers. So
hey, people love those.
They did. Yes, absolutely. So yes. Do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything
Are we done?
else. I think we're done.
All right.
Yeah.
We're done. All right.
No.
See you next week.
Oh, EP and I went to a card show yesterday. We always like to share our experiences. Let me just say that EP was an angry little elf.
I was
yesterday.
not angry.
Miserable.
Oh no!
I was not miserable.
He was so crabby. He's just like, I just don't feel like looking at anything. I just don't feel like being here.
I did not say I feel like being here. I said I had a lot of time, a lot of fun being there. I just didn't feel like buying anything. I was just nothing really stood out to me as something I wanted to buy. I ended up buying a couple things, but not like Mike bought. That's for sure.
He bought stuff on the download too. Like he came over, he's like, "Yeah, I got these packs." I'm like, "Where did you?" I was walking around with you like the whole time. Where did you get them? I didn't see that. Did you open the packs?
I did. They were as bad as you suggested.
What you got and what you got out of it.
I got 1 pack of Bowman Chrome University football, 1 pack of Bowman Chrome University basketball, and they were both horrendous. I got 0 players that I recognized out of either of them. So
I wish Panini would really start putting some good stuff in their products. I mean, it is so frustrating to me that you open up packs that were probably not cheap.
They all had like Bowman first. So if they end up being somebody, they actually will be worth something as opposed to some of the Panini.
No, they were Topps, Joe. They were only like 50 cents a pack.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Quarter a pack.
Yep.
How much were they a pack, EP?
They were two for $10.
Well,
they weren't
EP,
cheap.
You did a lot better than me. I bought 2 boxes of football and didn't get anything. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe by this time next year it'll be worth something. I'll go, that looks familiar. But yeah. No, I actually, like you said, EP, go figure. Mike spent a little bit of money at the card show yesterday. But
was Amy with you?
No.
Smart.
Not.
Smart.
EP was there too, like saying, "Oh, do you need this? Oh, do you need this?" He wasn't buying for himself, but he was digging through and pulled out cards for me to buy.
I had so much fun finding cards that I was like, "Oh my god, Mike definitely wants this one. This is a jersey card of whoever." And like, "Oh, Mike, what about this shiny one of Shaquille O'Neal?" And yeah, so
and
yeah,
I
did.
It sounds like he did.
I did, absolutely. But it was nice because I was running a sale. I needed football cards. I actually went to the show yesterday with a plan. Not just let's see how much stuff I can buy and root through and see what I get. I was actually going around digging through boxes looking for specific cards. I wanted a lot of football and some football memorabilia, refractors, stuff like that from the 90s, early 2000s, and found quite a bit of good stuff there and got some baseball, a little bit of basketball. I wasn't planning on doing too much with that, but I'm looking to have another sale early next year with basketball, and I need some stuff there. But our old buddy Kevin, he may have kept me out of the card show, but he tried to make it up to me yesterday. So, he let me come behind the table and sit down, root through his boxes. He had just bought a collection recently and had a lot of fresh stuff there for me to go through, and I found a lot. I bought quite a bit from him, so took care of me because I'm a superstar. Clearly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he made up for locking me out of the card show that I was there to make the grand appearance for, and yeah, I do appreciate that. So he was actually really hurt by the fact that he did that to me at the card show. And he felt very badly about it. So he did want to make it up. So I want to shout him out here and let him know that we all appreciate you for how you took care of me at the show yesterday.
I'm indifferent. Was this at the Muncie show? Was this another Muncie show? Like
no, this was just going to the mall. Yeah,
okay.
Big show too.
Huge. Yes, it was.
You talked
crazy.
about maybe the 3 of us getting together at one of these shows, getting a table, and I guess doing like a live like not live, but like recording content of some nature? Like, is that
Well,
something?
here's the thing
people
that
like?
Kevin told us too. He said the Wi-Fi at the church where he holds his is really good.
Yep.
So I doubt that the mall show we would have a good enough connection to be able to do a live.
It'd be
Although
very
we
echoey.
we could record a podcast live at one and talk to people and stuff during it. That might be something. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
What do you think?
some
Viewers,
ideas.
comment below. Would that be something you would be interested in watching? I don't know.
Couple quick takeaways. That they had such a good turnout, so much interest in this show that they're now doing another show that wasn't on the original schedule for December 2nd, I think is what they said.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
So like just in a couple weeks, they're going to do another show just because they had so many people that wanted to get a table at this show, which was great. And then the other takeaway, like pretty much the moment I walk in, I see Mike. We're talking. We walk over to this one table. He's going through one box. I'm going through another box and finding like some Beam Team cards that like just semi stars, not really like superstars. But it's like he went this one. He's like I'm handing these to him, and we're talking to the dealer at the same time. And he says, "Yeah, I'm actually working at a dealer to sell the whole thing." And they ended up selling it to Kevin. Like from the moment I walked in, all of a sudden there had to be like 4 or 5 tables there. This guy had purchased set up at, and Kevin bought that collection right there on the spot as Mike was going through the
while
bar.
I was digging through them. I'm like, I had a stack, and I'm like, who do I have to pay? I don't know who they actually closed the deal while I had a stack of cards there. I'm like, I don't know who I have to pay.
Just throw the money and run.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And we also met a viewer of the channel at the show too. 4 Soft Corners. Turns out he's from Elysburg. How about that?
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, that was fun. Like, who wouldn't want to come over? Like, we did have to push him away. He was begging for an autograph. And this is not true. We're just kidding.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a great, like, come on. EP and I walking over to the show and having somebody coming up and say, "Hey, I watched your channel." Like, wow, like
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't even know how ridiculous that is.
Were you guys both wearing Mike's Retro Trading Card t-shirts?
I was not. I had a hoodie on.
I had mine on, but I had a jacket on over it because it was cold. But I did do the Superman reveal.
Oh my God.
I didn't. Come on. It's fun. We have a good time there, Joe. You should actually join us more often.
I'm going to give the people in charge my schedule of when I'm going to be in Central PA. Then they can kind of rearrange how they like. If it was this Saturday, I would have been there. I'd be there.
What did you do yesterday that would have prevented
I laid
you
in bed and coughed up phlegm for 6 hours. I mean, other than that,
that's no excuse.
The viewers might be able to tell I have a little bit of a head cold.
That's your story.
Hashtag not COVID. Hashtag not COVID. So
let's hope not. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to end it here? Like
again,
I always give you that option. Where do we want to end it? Do we want to do the podcast or do we want to end it early?
Comment below.
Below, let us know. No, don't do that because everybody will be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, we were good with this.
Yep, we've had enough.
We've had enough. Oh, we kid. I don't know. Here we go. The Topps MLB Debut Patch cards. We talked about them at the beginning of the season. Talked about how cool it was. Fanatics was taking the little patch and going to put them on cards. Well, they're out. They are out. Apparently, as of this morning, I think 6 of the 91 have been pulled. I mean, they're really cool looking cards. I like the design, what they did with them. They're simple, but like it really highlights the patch. They're 1-of-1 autograph patch cards. Very, very popular, very, very valuable. These are like making a product that may or may not have been popular, like extremely popular.
What's the product they're coming out of?
They're in the Topps Chrome update.
Yeah.
Okay.
So selling for big money. I saw, I think a guy, I forgot to write down the name, but a card sold for like $4,000, I believe. That the highest price card that the kid had was $100 before that.
Oh, wow.
So these are extremely popular, really rare. But I mean, I think Fanatics kind of hit a home run on this, don't you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Like, and one of the things that we talked about at the show, even with some people, was that, like, as much as they're having the issues with the superfractors, like 3 superfractors showing up, like, this is the 101. There's only one. There's only one patch. Only one patch.
That
So this is
we
guaranteed.
know of.
Well, unless
they only had one patch.
unless they take somebody else's
That
patch and put it on a
we
card
know of.
with somebody else, like, that's not going to happen. Like, so I mean, like, I feel like that. So you're it's guaranteed 101. They're all autographed, right? I mean, it's a really cool. I think this is, again, one of those things
on card autos too.
Yeah, where Fanatics is, like you said, Mike, hitting a home run. I feel like this is really, really good for the hobby and really good for baseball collecting. Again, like, I don't think the Gunnar Henderson one has been picked yet or been pulled yet. Same thing with who was the NL Rookie of the Year? Corbin Carroll, yeah. So Corbin Carroll, like Sophia
Volpe, yeah.
So I mean, like, when and the Volpe one, like, those are going to go for really, really high numbers, and maybe it's like this,
isn't
baseball,
there a bounty on the Volpe for $150,000?
I think there is. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
David Adams.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah. So I mean, it's an exciting time. Some big money cards in baseball, which normally there's not. You think about the basketball and the football cards; these are the ones that are astronomical. But it's ultra modern baseball doesn't really have too many of those cards, so this is a really exciting chase for a lot of people in a product that is not super expensive. It's not out of this world expensive. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the recent prices, but I want to say probably $200 is probably $250 is probably what it is for a hobby box, I guess.
Yeah, and we do talk about a lot of the bad things that have been happening with Fanatics and Topps recently.
Kind of buried my lead there.
Yeah, a little bit, but I do want to give them credit. Like this, it sounded like a great idea when they came out with it, and I think it's a great idea. And there are going to be people out there that crap on it because they crap on everything. But
well, let me talk.
I was gonna say,
I am steering the conversation, Joe. I was setting you up. I'm just saying some people out there like to crap on everything Fanatics do, but I feel like this personally is a great idea. Joe,
let me differentiate truth from fiction here. I crap on everything everyone does. Let's just settle that debate.
You're an equal opportunity crapper.
Okay.
I am an equal opportunity crapper. When Panini screws up, I love talking about that. When Fanatics screws up, it's fun to talk about that because you guys are in the pocket Fanatics. So people need to hear the other side, And they have had, as Mike has mentioned, a long line of screw ups recently. So it is nice to say, good job, Fanatics. I am saying that.
Okay,
good job,
great.
Fanatics. By the way, when they screw up, it's somehow, I can't believe Topps screwed up. When they do good, it's, Fanatics, great job, Fanatics. It's like, come on, guys. It's ridiculous. EP will fully admit these cards could have been screwed up from the jump. They could have been terrible. They could have been sticker autos, and there could have been multiple 101s. He would have still loved them. We all know that. But for me to say that this is a home run, I really, really do hope they do something very similar with football and with basketball when they take those over. I think that would be a very, very cool product. None of us are going to ever pull these. Let's be completely honest. EP, I assume you're getting a case
Negative.
Of this. This is not Drew Jones money possibility here.
I mean, I've already missed the window of the opening window anyway.
Did you?
So
okay.
And this came out this past week, I think, right? So
Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a very cool product. They are beautiful cards. They are absolutely beautiful cards. So yes, I'm going to give them a 2 thumbs up. And again, it means more coming from me because again, I'm not a shill for Fanatics like EP and my card. So
I think a Joe Day 2 thumbs up should be a T-shirt.
Should be. Yeah. We'll have to get that in the merch shop whenever we actually have a merch shop.
Wait. Before we move on, when do we get a merch shop? Is it like 1,000 subscribers?
I think you might have to have 1,000.
We have some great ideas for merch.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
We're gonna have more T-shirt ideas than Screen Crush. So yeah.
Yes.
Well, they're doing a great job with these, and they're building upon that great idea, at least in my opinion, with their white glove redemption. Turns out that the higher end tier 1 rookies out of this, they are not actually putting the card in the packs. They kept them back. I know we don't like the word redemption card, but in this case, I think it's a good idea because
100%.
they want to make sure the better rookies, the cards don't get damaged. So they kept them back. They're putting a redemption card in there. So if you pull the Corbin Carroll, you're going to have to send it in. But there's a little catch. They're going to let you grade it with BGS, SGC, or CSG for free if you want, or they'll send it to you raw. So they're making sure that the cards, they didn't get damaged during packaging, during shipping, during opening. You know, we talked about how some of the breakers just don't really care. So yeah, they're doing their best to make sure that the best cards out of it will be in the best condition possible and let you grade it.
I love it. I think it's great. I like the idea of holding the cards back. It's a 1-1. We've talked a little bit about this on the pod. Do you really need to grade a 1-1? What's it matter? You know, if it comes back as 7. By the way, if any of these come back anything less than a 9, what just happened there? You know, like
they better be at least an 8.
I think 8 is what they say. Like out of the pack, it should be an 8, right?
If you want,
but that's out of the pack.
If you want to send something back that's damaged, they have to be like, they consider anything less than an 8 a damaged card. So by their own definition, they should at least be an 8.
Right. I mean, I look at it this way. You know, you see, what was I wish I could remember the name of the Panini product where you actually got a graded card. You know, you got a regular pack and then you got a graded card. And whenever someone would pull a graded card less than a 9, even the breakers would be like, what? How is this possible? You're sending them directly to the grading company from your company.
That goes back to the early 2000s.
Early 2000s, playoff momentum.
We were getting like 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah. Like, it's like, what is going on here? So
$20. Yeah.
The ones that do not even come close to entering a pack, it'd be embarrassing if they were less than a 9. I know an 8 is technically what, you know, they're saying, but it would be embarrassing if any of these were less than a 9. I personally would just take it. I would take it raw myself. I just think it just makes a lot more sense for a 1-of-1 to come back raw. And I think in the one touch with the Fanatics or Topps seal over top of it, I think that's a cool look. But yeah, I love that they're doing this, and it's going to make the players that actually are in the product, if they hit and they're in nice condition. Like, imagine a Tom Brady card from 2000. He would have been in the tier 1 rookies. I'm, putting this as a football reference. He would have been in the tier 1 rookies. Imagine pulling that and then having that one and in nice condition and a beautiful card. I think a lot of good things that Fanatics are doing with this product.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Joe. Like this, again, the Bowman Chrome is so expensive, and that's considered to be, like, the Superfractor is considered to be the card. But, like, I think for these players, like, this is going to be the card that people are chasing as the number one card. These guys, the one card that everybody's gonna. If you are a fan of this player, like a super fan with, like, just bottomless pockets, like, this is the card you're going to try to get for these players. Yeah. And I think that's amazing. I do love this their implementation of this new product, this new feature, like to this part of it, the white glove thing, and also the redemptions. I believe the redemptions are like lifetime, right? They never expire.
Yeah, they don't expire. Yeah.
So I mean that's
because the cards
thing.
are made, they're going to have them. So
right. Like,
if you pull it, whenever you pull it, you get the card.
Which, again, that's another great. I mean, to have this thing to be like that, that's another thing that like they've made a lot of really great things happen here with this, and I love the being able to send it in to get it graded. Unlike Joe, I would definitely take advantage of sending it in to get it graded, even though it's a 1-on-1. I'm still okay sending it in. So
where would you send it?
I would SGC. I like SGC slabs, and I think
I think the cards are like
white card,
white. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
white. So it look really sharp and like a good contrast.
I think that would look sharp in SGC. The only issue I've had, and I've talked about this not just with SGC or any of the other grading companies, trigger alert, everyone. The reason I like BGS,
so like a flashing alert pop up.
Right. The reason I like BGS for that is there's just, in my mind, there's something about having it in that inner sleeve. I know a lot of people don't like it. I do. Having that inner sleeve, protecting the card from getting scratched or anything happening to the auto. That's kind of where I would go with it. But I understand, perfect world where no damage happens to the card when they're in the slab. SGC would be my choice as well. Mike, you would probably say CS or CGC, I'm guessing.
I think I would get it raw.
Yeah.
I agree with
gun to
you.
your head if you had to grade it, if you were going to grade it.
The thing to think about is if you have it in the one touch and it has the Fanatic seal on it and it's raw, people go, that might be a 10. So
right.
value-wise, I feel like getting it raw with the Fanatic seal on it would make it a more valuable card because we know how people are. Yeah. Anything that isn't graded something could be a 10. So
one point I want to make too quickly about the redemptions, I think it's a really good overarching topic about redemptions, is all redemptions should not have an expiration date, right? Yes, all redemptions should say, as long as the company is in business, you can get this card. Right. It shouldn't be you have a year, you have 2 years, whatever. So I really like that they're doing it for this. I hope that they take this and do it going forward with the rest of their stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't like redemptions right now because we're so used to the cluster that is Panini's redemption program. They have made some strides to, turn those in for those black box things at the National, which I thought was also a cool program. But that's why we're nervous about redemptions. If it's something like this, I have zero. I'd rather get a redemption. Yeah. I don't want to get it in a pack.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a number of viewers that are screaming at us right now because we have conveniently left out the elephant in the room that PSA is not one of the companies they would allow you to send it to. We intentionally didn't talk about this part in the last part. We didn't put the cart ahead of the horse because I wanted to have the discussion of, isn't it interesting that Fanatics saying, well, you can send it here, here, or here, but not there. And then not there is where most people want to send it to. So why do you think that they chose to leave PSA out of it? Is it just maybe PSA didn't want to be part of it? I don't think they even have to be part of it since they're going to pay for it. They must have intentionally decided they didn't want to send the business to PSA, which I find interesting. Anybody?
I mean, I was thought Joe would go first, but I can go ahead. Like I feel like they've already made this. I feel like they're working with SGC on grading some of these cards where they're offering the $9 grading for like Bowman Chrome and the Topps flagship sets. So I feel like they're like making like deals with some of these companies. I wonder if PSA just thought we don't need to make a deal, so we're not going to make a deal with them, and they were able to make a deal with the other ones. I'm not 100% sure about that, but like that might be part of it, or maybe PSA had made it, had already said some of their deal up with somebody else. I'm not sure.
I don't think the SGC thing was a deal with Fanatics, by the way. The $9 grading. I think it was just a deal that SGC did to
no, they were
Were they getting
that was a deal? Yeah, I know that when they did it, that it was like a combination of that. So it must have been something they.
So they were getting supplemented money from Fanatics to do that deal.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe they paid them for it. I don't know what the terms of the deal were, but I do know when it was announced, it was like in conjunction with Topps. Yeah.
So. Okay. Because there was some confusion too when I know Leighton did the thing where they did the live grading and some folks thought, oh, Fanatics was involved in that too. And to my knowledge, they were not. It was just a Leighton and an SGC thing. Why they didn't include PSA, I don't know. Like and you're going to talk about the Goldin part of this, right? So that kind of plays into a little bit of my answer. Maybe Fanatics is like, well, we want these cards to be accurately graded, so we're not going to include PSA. I'm not 100% sure.
That's probably not.
Wow, duck.
Do we? Oh, PSA fanboys, watch out.
We don't have that many PSA fanboys.
I know. So I don't think we have any.
We probably ticked them off a long time.
Right. They've been gone for a while.
Yeah. There are probably some hate watchers. They're going to talk about PSA again.
That's awesome. How awesome is it that we have hate watchers? That in of itself is cool. I honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't have an informed opinion on this at all. It just, it's weird to me.
But
that
it's
interesting. Like, is it Fanatics is like, we're more important than PSA. We don't need to bother with them. and maybe they want to have a fight. I don't know. Maybe they're looking for a fight with PSA for some reason. We've been talking about this for a while. Are they going to buy a grading company, or are they going to work with a grading company? Maybe this is a trial. Maybe this is a tryout for one of these 3 grading companies.
Maybe they're going to work with all 3 of them.
All 3 to take out PSA. Who knows? But to me, if it was me and I was Fanatics and I did want to get into a partnership of some nature, or maybe buy one of the grading companies, I know I'm not going to be able to buy PSA. Chances are I'm not going to be able to buy it. They probably could, but I don't know.
Isn't Collectors, though, like kind of a holding company? Like,
so you think they could pick the PSA part of that out of
I don't know. I feel like Collectors as a parent company, though, is an investment company that, you know, have built the business up that would potentially flip it for the right price.
I mean, it's possible. For
I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like they are, and like the people that own that, like, invest in companies to flip them make a profit on them. So maybe
that's completely possible. Taking that potential out of it, you know, if they're just looking for kind of like they did with PWCC, buy something a little bit cheaper and then maybe prop it up eventually, I could see them giving these 3 companies a trial, you know, like, hey, who do people want to use? And if everyone sends their cards to BGS, or everyone sends them to SGC or whatever, maybe then they start working closer with that grading company. Maybe they consider buying that grading company. I don't know, but I could see this definitely being a test balloon for Fanatics to decide, hey, does it make sense for us to partner with one of these specifically, or maybe with all 3 of them going forward?
Will be cool to see which company grades more of them. I'm gonna guess BGS will be. I don't know.
So too.
I feel like they have a connection with baseball. Still a lot of baseball collectors that use them. The really thick cards. I don't know. I feel like maybe, but I could be completely wrong. Just guessing on that.
I'm wondering if those numbers will get released. I'm wondering if
we'll be able to see what are graded and what. So they should be able to figure that out. But you did bring up Goldin, and the PSA Goldin response to the fact that they were left out of this deal is that Ken Goldin himself released the video letting people know that he personally would pay for any cards of these that you're going to consign with Goldin to be graded by PSA. Now, let's remember that Goldin is owned by PSA. Ken's not doing it personally, no matter what he's trying. That's PSA is offering this and using Ken as a front man, which is perfectly fine. That's what they bought the company for. They have him.
Yeah. If the caveat is you have to consign with Goldin, Goldin has a great benefit here too.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if you want to have the card, you can't get a graded. You have to sell it. So, like, you are kind of limiting, although if I pulled $150,000 card, yes, I would sell it. So that would be a deal maybe I'd be interested in. So yeah, I think this is brilliant on their behalf. That why not? Like, we're left out of this. How can we turn this into a positive? Okay, well, if you want to sell it through us, we'll grade it with PSA. And I think it's a great idea.
I have a feeling that did you guys ever end up watching that Netflix doc, The Goldin?
Not yet. It's on my list.
There was one guy who came in. It was a younger guy with his mom, and he had a Steph Curry rookie Topps Chrome Gold. So what are those? 50, I think. So they the consigner, whoever worked for Goldin, who was in charge of that specific case, they sent it off to PSA, hoping it would come back a 9 or a 10. I think it ended up coming back a 9, spoiler alert. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right. There's no point. I ruined the whole thing. In my mind, I just assumed that they paid for that anyway. Like, they suggested this should get graded, and then we'll put it on the auction. So I'm thinking, if you walked in there and said to them, hey, I have this Corbin Carroll or whoever rookie card from this debut white glove thing, and I want to consign it with Goldin, I have a feeling that they were going to grade it for free anyway. I don't think this is like, oh, hey, here's this something that Goldin would never do, but we're doing it because we got pushed out the door by Fanatics. No, I'm pretty sure that they were going to have this card graded for you and probably take it out as part of the consignment fee. So they're not as altruistic as I think they're trying to lead people on that they are. I know businessmen being crappy people, I know it's shocking to a lot of people, but I mean, come on.
I mean, it maximizes their profit as well, right? Like that's the bottom line. They're just trying to maximize what they're going to be selling it anyway. Maximizes it for them. And like Mike said, like for me, like I'm a huge Yankees fan, been Yankees fan my entire life, and I really want Volpe to end up being this great player, the next Jeter, whatever. But I'm not saying that he's going to be. I'm just saying I would like to see that happen. But even if I got that card, I would have to sell that card. Like that's just in a price, this card in a price range that is out of this world. And like,
you could buy a really good card and have still
you could buy a house.
I could buy a house and a car. Where I could buy a house and a car with that amount of money.
And still get a cool rookie of his.
Right.
For your PC.
Yeah. I already have a finest rookie. I'm perfectly fine with that. So, but anyhow, so yeah, like I would definitely want to sell it anyway. And consigning with Goldin, like you're going to get a good price, right? Like that's I mean that's part of what they do. If you submit to PSA through Goldin, also maybe they give you a little bit. If it's a 9.5, maybe get a 10 instead of a 9.
EP.
You know, I mean maybe hey. So I mean, go ahead.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, that definitely happens.
The one thing I kind of like is if you pull this card, you have a lot of weight behind that. Like I would be maybe going to Goldin or eBay or some of the auction houses saying, what kind of a deal are you going to give me if I consign this with you? Like take some of the power back. Like these cards do give you power because those companies want it graded in their slab. Those companies want to sell it for you. If I had it, I would be shopping it around. I'm not going to just say, oh yeah, okay, Ken, you can pay for this and I'll pay the fees. I'm going to be like, no, what kind of a deal do you want to give me? Because those cards are going to bring eyeballs to those marketplaces. Like there isn't a lot in this hobby that gives the collector power over these big companies, the big marketplaces, the big grading companies. But would I say to BGS, would you pay me money to grade this with your company?
Because this will be on your
because
IG.
It's marketing. Absolutely.
This will be on your Twitter accounts, everything.
If you have some of the higher dollar, the bigger name players, that's bringing eyeballs to whatever company grades it. So it would be worth money to them. And I don't like what would be wrong with trying to get them to give you money to grade it with them. I would do that. And I'd say to Ken, you know what? I'll sell it on Goldin, but I don't want any fees taken out or like make it a small, like that's advertising, is marketing. You're going to spend it in some other way.
You can go to Times Square and hold this card up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and actually having that card to auction on your site is worth more than
imagine the eyeballs that are going to show up for that just for that one card.
The people who can't get that card can still look at the other auctions that are ending.
Yeah, because only one person is getting that card.
I mean, it's true 1-on-1 in theory. Again, I mean, definitely.
But that's how it works. If I bring 50,000 eyeballs to your website because of the card I'm selling, that has value. So I would try to play that off.
One caveat about the grading portion we talked about earlier, I said I probably wouldn't get it graded. I would just have it sent raw. That's if it was like a PC card for me, like one of the lower end ones that I collected. If I was going to sell it, I would do the PSA thing, because here's the thing about 1-on-1s. We always say it doesn't make. I always say it doesn't make sense to grade them because it's a 1-on-1. It doesn't really matter what the grade is. It doesn't matter what the grade is until it's a 10, right? So like if it comes back a PSA 4, well, it's the only one, so it doesn't matter. But if it comes back a PSA 10, there's this psychological thing that people have that, it's not just a 1-on-1, it's a perfect version of a 1-on-1. So yeah, I would absolutely get it graded. I would go through PSA. And Mike, that's a great point about shopping it around, because worst thing Ken Goldin's going to do is say no. So then you're like, okay, I'm going to go to Heritage.
I'll go to eBay or Heritage.
I'll go to eBay. And same thing with the grading company. Hey, you want to grade this BGS? Okay, what are you giving me? Because I'm probably losing money not going to PSA. But I guarantee you, if you do that, you get a 9.5. A true 9.5. It would not shock me at all.
Yeah, I would also switch to PSA now that we've revealed the PSA Golden thing. Like I would switch to that as well as over SGC, just because I mean you're maximizing the potential profit and you're getting it
because
for
we're
free.
not keeping that card.
So,
The three of us are
no.
not keeping that card.
No.
Whatever one we pull, we're not
Right.
keeping it. You know.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody who pulls one will actually keep it.
I wonder if anyone will actually pull one off of Fanatics Live.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
that'll never happen.
I really look forward to seeing the market on these and see what these sell for. Like we're gonna have to like watch these and see what they end up selling for, because some of them are gonna sell for.
I legit want to see
astronomical
where they're
amounts,
getting pulled from. I would love to see that information.
Well, we were talking at the card show, and somebody said that one of them, I can't remember who it was, got pulled from a blaster box, right?
I said that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of them was pulled from a blaster. So
that someone like bought at Walmart or whatever and opened it up themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
A lot of them have been pulled from the Breakers Delight boxes. I don't even know what they are, but
that's basically just the hits, right?
Yeah, like one pack with just the hits. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Panini and WWE settled their lawsuit this week. Go figure on that. The details are, I don't know what the details are because they haven't released them yet. But I did want to update everybody that Panini and WWE has settled. Even though we don't know what the details of it are, I find it interesting because it shows that Panini wants to get this crap taken care of to me. I'm wondering if the fact that they've settled this might make it more likely they could settle with the NFLPA. Like, I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know if it's Panini getting bought out of the license. I don't know if they're going to continue to make the cards with nobody else's interference. I don't know if both Topps and Panini are going to be able to. Like, it's fun to speculate what it could be, but like, we really don't know. I think would kind of be cool if both Topps and Panini could make cards, but I'm going to guess that probably will be one of the less likely outcomes. I'm thinking it's probably some kind of settlement where either Panini's making all the cards or they aren't making any. Any guesses?
Our hobby lawyer, our channel lawyer, has told us not to wildly speculate. You know, it could come back on us legally.
I'm allowed to speculate. I'm not giving advice.
Best case scenario is both companies get to make cards. That's probably not going to happen, though. Unfortunately, I hope it, whatever it ends up being, I hope they at least let Panini finish out the year, and then Fanatics, whenever they take over, if it's earlier than originally projected, or at the current, at the time that it was, negotiated. I just really, really hope that there is no scenario where there aren't cards available for collectors, right? So
there haven't been cards.
There haven't been
the
cards. So
wrestling
that's
cards
like
have been
biggest
stalled.
Yeah, that's the biggest kick in the teeth of this whole thing. It's like you have these wrestling collectors, some of the most passionate, right or wrong, some of the most passionate collectors I've ever seen. They are not getting product, so that's upsetting. So I'm hoping that regardless of what the end result is, the lawsuit that's been settled says, okay, you can make the products you have slated, and during that time, Fanatics can start revving up the engines to start creating their products. Because if they said, Panini, okay, the settlement is we're going to buy you out, you're done. How long is it going to take Fanatics to get cards on the shelves for WWE?
There's going to be a gap.
So there's going to be this big gap, at least a year, you would think. So I don't know. I hope it's something to that effect. But to your other point, Mike, I really hope that whatever happens, and if it happens with the NFLPA as well, it doesn't screw over collectors who really, really just want to open up product.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, that's a lot of you hit about 90% of what I was going to hit. Like it's all speculation, of course, but like the real people that are struggling here are the collectors, like not getting anything. And my hope is that the people in the boardroom or in whatever room it was in the lawyer's office, when they were hashing this out, they actually, at least one person was like, hey, we need to make sure we think about the collectors and make sure that there's some product going out there. I realize that that's maybe a bit of a stretch depending on how vicious the battle was back and forth. But you also maybe hope that Panini had something in mind or something in the works when everything got shut down, and maybe there's going to be something coming out sooner than a year down the line or whatever. Like if they have to start from scratch, then it's going to be rough. But you hope that there's something somewhere that's going to come out soon because of this, and you hope that hopefully the deal is Panini can continue to produce cards until the contract runs out, so at least there's something out there. Or I mean, I'm sure Topps Fanatics with all of their endless amounts of money, they can probably crank something out pretty quick. I'm guessing, like they probably find a way to do something if that was part of it. But in any case, like Joe said, hopefully this is good for the collectors who have had nothing come out for so long.
Yeah, and I think the main takeaway from this is I feel it's a bright spot that they settled one of these. I've said all along, what sense does it make for Panini to have to fight and spend all the money they're going to spend in court when they're losing all the licenses anyway? So I feel like, this shows that they have a willingness to settle stuff somehow so product can come out. I'm guessing, to not spend hundreds of millions of dollars in legal fees. So the willingness to settle one hopefully will lead to all of these eventually being settled one way or another. So,
and
you wonder.
Go ahead, EP.
I was just going to speculate. Like, you wonder how many lawyers they have on their team right now. They're paying. It's probably like a whole team. Like this ridiculous. Like maybe even multiple firms.
Lawsuits everywhere you look.
Like
so
by multiple firms too. I mean, it's probably,
imagine, crazy.
Yeah,
and you're hoping at a certain point that maybe Panini, with this little bit of a win, says, okay, now's the time to make a deal with Fanatics, right? We've been saying that for a while now. Like every time they get a little win, it's like, did this improve their bargaining position with Fanatics to try and sell IP, to try and sell the licenses, whatever? Again, it comes down to that calculus of how many hours in lawyer fees are they paying? How much are they losing because they can't print as much as they print? All these different things going on. At what point do they finally just take that brass ring and say, oh, we just won? Potentially, we don't know the outcome. But if they did win some sort of outcome in these, and then they can negotiate the same with the NFLPA, at what point do they say, okay, now is the time, we have that little bit of clout that we can use to now move on in our lives and let Fanatics just take over a little bit earlier?
Yeah, I think that happens eventually. I think you'll see the NFLPA one be done first, and then the other one maybe a little farther down the line. But yeah, it'll be interesting to keep an eye out to see, and we will bring you the details if we know what they are. So, well, one thing we love to do here is talk hockey. And we're big hockey collectors. We don't know hockey, admittedly, yes. So bear with us. But Connor Bedard is lighting it up. I mean, he looks like the real deal. Usually in hockey, when kids, they're not even guys. He's a kid, and my God, he's great. And they get hyped up. He has 9 goals in his first 15 games. He had a 4-point game. People are even more hyped now. They were hyped, and now they're getting more hyped. He has an SP card, like the random little Easter egg card they threw in Series 1 Upper Deck Hockey. His true Young Guns rookie doesn't come out till Series 2. Those boxes are going crazy. The SP card is apparently $400 to $600 now. Like, hockey's not really our thing, but like I feel like we wouldn't be doing our duty here if we didn't talk a little bit about the fact that there's a player out there that is like really setting the hockey card market on fire again.
Yeah, and you were right about like young hockey players. Like I being in Pittsburgh, I mean, I remember when Sid came out and was like a legit, like right out of the gate. Like it wasn't, we weren't waiting. He was just awesome right out of the gate. And I think that's what's happening here too. And I just, Upper Deck, I mean, what a smart idea to put basically an XRC, right? I mean, it's technically a rookie card, but it's an XRC of his actual Young Guns, maybe a preview card, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's awesome. That's smart. And again, it's making those boxes, kind of like we talk about with, throwing in Shohei and Babe Ruth. I know they're completely different cards, but, people chasing those big hits. This is even in my opinion, this is even better because you can buy these thinking you have a legitimate chance of getting one of these cards. You're not getting a one of
Yeah,
you know,
this
it's not
isn't
a
like
one
a
you're chasing.
$100,000
Right.
one-of-one that nobody's really going to pull. Like,
It's
you
like how
have a
much
chance to pull the card out if you rip a
you
box.
have an actual legitimate chance, and Upper Deck Hockey is not hundreds upon thousands of dollars per box normally. So people are spending a little bit more over retail.
The Series
Sure.
2 is getting there.
Yeah.
Pre-orders for that. Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, this is great for hockey, and Mike, you are the hockey expert of the group because you do have at least one hockey card in your display behind you.
I do. I used to be really big into hockey.
You were really, I do remember that. You made us play that dice game.
This
You remember that dice game?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
I talking about this, like this is along the lines of like for people who don't know, like this is like Victor Wembanyama hype level, and then with Victor Wembanyama actually performing, Bryce Harper, the hype level for him back in 2012 when he was rookie, and him performing
back in 2012.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I missed it.
So like so this is really like this level, and like I talked last year, several months ago at least, where I was like thinking about, you know what, I should probably I might get a case of Series 2 because that's when the Young Guns comes in. But as Mike alluded to, the prices are a little
not now.
a little out there. We were talking to a guy at the show yesterday, and he said he was going to do the same thing. He was going to buy 2 cases, but the cases right now are like $3,600 a case, and you're going to get one Bedard Young Guns out of that case. So I mean, they're going to sell for a lot of money for sure.
If the
but they're not
right.
They're not going to sell for $3,600. Like they're probably not going to sell for that amount of money. So like it seems like again prices are just prices of wax are out of control.
Freaking Panini.
I mean,
Anyway.
it is all Panini's fault. They're the ones that caused this.
Yeah, Panini definitely pushed these Upper Deck boxes up. When's SP Authentic come out for hockey? Is that still a thing?
Oh, we talked about that too. Like they're multiple high-end hockey products.
Yeah, they have some other high-end hockey products too that are above SP too. I don't know that they do exquisite anymore, do they?
I don't think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
you
they
imagine what his SP rookie is going to go for. They're probably going to do a metal.
I know it's going to be crazy, but I mean, really cool. Like I was reading on Sports Collectors Daily too. They kind of compared him to Eric Lindros, like hobby wise, because like Sidney Crosby and stuff like that didn't like the market was down when he came out.
Right.
But like it's at like this peak right now, and it was kind of the same way in the early 90s. Like the Eric Lindros thing was crazy.
Yager around there?
Yes, too? I remember that.
Yager was too, but Lindros was like the guy that everybody was chasing. Score had him signed to an exclusive deal, so like it really is reminiscent of that. And you're going to see people like I haven't collected hockey cards in a long time. I'd love to get his rookie card. I'm never going to be able to do it, but you're going to have a lot of people who don't collect hockey jumping in, and that's why the boxes are going up. The cards are going to be insanely popular.
I mean, that's a hobby in general, though. You're going to like the hobby in general had people who didn't collect cards come in and they pushed everything up. Now you go to that very, very specific thing where you have people who don't normally, they might be card collectors. They don't normally collect hockey, but now they're coming in, they're pushing up, kind of like the Magic the Gathering One Ring. You had people chasing that who maybe weren't Magic people. I mean, you have this thing that sets people off, and it just pushes these prices up. And you kind of feel bad for the actual collectors of these products, like actual Magic fans, actual hockey fans who are getting priced out of it, almost like gentrification of the hockey market, right? Of the hockey card market or the Magic market.
True, yeah.
These people coming in and pushing out the actual collectors. It's kind of it's cool, but it's also kind of a slap in the face of the people who are like, I just want to open up cards that I enjoy opening up. I can't do that anymore, you know?
Speaking of the Lindros thing, he was in like that 91 Classic 4 Sport, wasn't he? Was it because I remember like thinking to myself, I remember that he was like one of those cards I wanted to chase to get in that 4 Sport for the reason that I was buying it for a hockey player of all things. I like hockey and I have followed it here and there, but like that, I remember that being a card that I really wanted to get out of that, whatever the year that 4 Sport was. So yeah, that's exciting time. Really exciting. So,
well, one card that's really not worth chasing anymore. I hate to have to say it, Joe, but we don't like to talk about Joe's finances here very often, but his Tom Brady 2000 Contenders Championship ticket that he bought last year for $3.8 million. He sold it recently, and unfortunately, he only got $855,000 for it. So Joe took a loss of $2,945,000 in a 1-year hold on that Tom Brady card.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, man.
Sorry, Joe.
Pour one out. No, I better not.
So
right on the computer.
So
I lost all that money, and now I can't afford a new computer.
How are you dealing with this, Joe? Are you okay?
So first off, it's not known who bought and sold that card. Okay. So how do you know I'm not the buyer of it and got it at a great deal?
At low, buy low. Yeah.
Buy low, right? You know me, Mike. I'm a buy low, sell high guy.
I am guessing that you probably were the buyer. Not the
Yeah.
seller. We joked. This was not Joe's card. Just
card.
in case you're not understanding. It's a little bit.
Right. Lots of sarcasm, very thick sarcasm. No, it is not. It is not my card. I also did not buy the card. I did tell you guys that, like, if I decide to sell every one of the Brady rookies in my collection and only bought one, it wouldn't be the championship ticket. It would just be the regular auto ticket, which is still not in my price range.
Well,
but,
it might be soon.
It might be soon.
All his cards are going to zero now.
Right, exactly. It's funny we talk about this because I think we've mentioned this a lot just in general about kind of the market crash, correction, whatever, is that it's mostly these super high-end cards that are getting hit with this, which good, because the people who came in and paid a ridiculous amount of money for these cards thinking there was no place to go but up, they're not buying the 2000 Bowman Chrome PSA 8s. They're buying championship tickets, right? Mm-hmm. So I go through every 2 weeks. Yes, I am OCD. I go through every 2 weeks and I look at the last 3 sales of every one of the Brady cards that I have, every one of the Brady rookie cards that I have, just to see how they've done from month to month, year to year. They've gone down, sure, but not the percentage that these high-end ones have gone down. No. Not even close. Some of them have even gone up, like something like a Pacific Aurora in a PSA 9 is still $150 to $200 card. That hasn't gone down at all. So, like, I think we need to just take stock in the fact that it's these super high-end cards that are really kicking the market's ass. And if you do the math, they're the ones pulling down the percent. You know, you see those percentages of like, oh, the baseball market's down, the football market's down, this is down, this is down. Yeah, it's because these super high-end cards are losing so much value. They are pulling everything down with it. When you actually look at the other cards, they're not getting hit that hard. They are going down as everything is, but nowhere near at the level that these high-end cards are.
Yeah, put this in the textbook as like the definition of these falsely inflated prices of this market right now. Like the people that came in thinking, oh my gosh, look at all these cards. I can get into this. I can make this investment. This is going to be my retirement. Where those of us who have been collecting for a long time, like the three of us, like we know that is not going to sustain. It's going to help the rest of the market grow a little bit, come up a little bit, but it's not like those prices are not going to sustain. It was all like false inflation. And like it was, I mean, I feel horrible for the person that ended up buying that card because they probably bought it as an investment thinking it was going to be like that. Also, if they were spending $3 million on a card, I shouldn't feel bad for them because
they can afford to spend $3 million on a card. I can afford to not give a shit about how it affected their life. Right?
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
I think there's a real good point to be made here, though, that first of all, that card should have never been worth that much. But here's a little thing for all the collectors of all the different parallels that they have, 40 different parallels. They have different levels of this card. So that's why I feel like this card should never have had that kind of value. There's really not a whole lot of differentiation between.
A little shinier.
Yeah, like between these cards. One's a parallel and like they have different levels of it. And like clearly when you can buy the other card for way less money, it's really gonna hurt the value long term of the one card that collectors at the time determined, oh well, this should be his top card. there are other options out there for collectors. And I'm saying that with parallels. I've said it all along. 20 years from now, when you look back to this time period and people who want to buy cards from 2021, 2022, they're going to have a multitude of options out there. So you can't always assume that the gold or the one numbered to 99 is going to be worth like multiples of what the ones numbered out of 125 or 150 are. You're going to have people going, oh, I can get that card numbered to 125 for half the price of the one numbered to 100. Why would I spend twice as much for the one numbered to 100? So I think you're getting to that point with like the contenders card. Like, yes, there are fewer of them out there, but then there are also other options that still have his autograph on it that look the same as the card that was apparently a $3.8 million card or something at one time.
The biggest problem with that card was that the boom happened after he won a Super Bowl. Like, he won the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden, that's when we started to look at our collections like, oh shit, we should see what we have. Like, that's how that got massively inflated. If he doesn't win the Super Bowl, does that sell for 3.8 or whatever it ended up selling for? Probably not. Yeah. And you're 100% right, Mike. 20 years from now, there is going to be, let's say I want a Joe Burrow card. I'm not going to get the one number to 3 or the one number to 10. I'm going to be looking for something like the tiger skin or tiger stripe or whatever it's called, like something unique like that. I'm not going to be looking for some random 1 of 3 that's green. Like, what? Why would I want that? Like,
yeah.
For this card specifically too, I think the base one actually looks better because the autograph looks clear with the being a little bit shiny. I don't think the auto comes across as well.
The autos aren't great on that.
The autos usually only grade an 8. When they grade the autos, they are very much underneath a 10 generally.
Combining kind of both of what you guys are saying, another thing that to think about is I think there's a lot of speculation at the time too. Like, a lot of people were thinking, well, what's going to be the next precious metal gems? And I wonder if people were thinking, like, so somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna pay $4 million for $3.8 million for this card because this is gonna be the next big one. It's gonna be a $6 million card by the time I sell it in 20 years or in 2 years or whatever. And it's just completely unsustainable. Like,
kind of crazy to me that the person decided to sell it.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
Like,
terrible choice.
Is it the lowest possible right now? I
feel like
hold it for 4 more years. Hold it for 4 more years.
Right.
When he goes into the Hall of Fame.
33.8 million in.
Do you like it? Kind of like, first of all, you have somebody like, they're not just people that decide to buy like a $4 million card. Like, certain kind of people that have made a lot of money do that. So I feel like it says to me that they feel like that card's going to drop even more and they're going to take a huge loss, but they feel like they're going to take an even bigger loss if they wait. Like, I feel like the sale of this card to only hold it for a year, knowing that the market's down, I feel like the person would have to be an idiot to not realize he was going to lose a substantial amount of money on the card. And people that have the kind of money to buy that card aren't usually idiots that aren't going to realize that. So they knew, but the fact that they decided to sell it anyway, I think is a really bad omen for these uber high price cards, because I don't think they're ever going back to anywhere near that. And I think the seller probably realized it and figured, I better just take my losses now because I'm going to take a bigger loss if I wait.
So it depends on who the seller was, right? So to put it into our parlance, if it was a $400 card that we bought, right, and it's down to 80 or whatever, like, at what point do we just say, I'm just going to hold the $80, and then in 4 years when he hits the Hall, maybe that doubles? You're saying, Mike, maybe that 80 might go down to 20, and even when he hits the Hall, it's not going to matter.
But you're talking about different levels of cards. I'm talking about the ones that are really up there are never going back up there. And I feel like the people that have money to invest in it, I'm going to guess the person didn't sell it because they needed the money. Somebody who has a $400 card that's dropping to 80 might need the money, might need the $80. This person, I'm gonna guess didn't.
You'd hope.
I feel like it's a clear sign though that like people with that kind of money are like, no, these cards that were here that have dropped are never going back up there. Because come on, it was a perfect storm when everything hit. And we know when things shoot up and start to drop, they don't shoot back up to those peaks. They can level off. Things can be higher than what they were 5 years before, but the crazy, crazy prices are not going to be seen in my lifetime again.
Because all those mega millionaires left. They're gone.
Yeah. Because they know that they're not going to make money on those $1 million cards anymore.
I think there's probably is a moment where things don't get nearly as crazy, but we'll have the peaks and valleys again, and some of those people will come in and do it again. We've seen that happen in the hobby before, but again, like this card, another perfect example where you wonder if this card ever even comes close to $1 million ever again. So maybe 855, like you said, maybe that is maybe he's like, well, this is not $1 million card, so I'll take the 855 right now and get out of it. So that I mean. Again, will never live in this realm, but I'm like, I would probably hold on to it at this point because I would probably, again, I don't need that money to, buy a house or something like that.
What about the Drew Jones money now?
That's not even.
Did you sell that to buy this?
Nope, that's not in the same.
But EP, I feel like people that have that kind of money that are investing in it,
right?
Even though they're taking a loss, he's going to say, well, I can have $855,000 and then invest that money in something else and make money off it instead of letting it sit there and just lose value. I guarantee you the seller believes in his heart that this card is going to continue to drop and is not going to be worth more than what he was going to get for it right now. So
even 20 years from now, right?
Yeah. Like again, I'm sure he feels like I can take that nearly $900,000 and make way more money. It's opportunity cost. And, we talked about that a lot when you had to wait forever for PSA. The people, well, I'm going to wait for them to open so I can grade my card and make $20 on it. Yeah, but you could have made that $20 100 times using another service. So.
And the seller can go back and buy for $250,000 in 2 years or something like that. Possibly.
If he wants to. Maybe he will.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're running long on time. We better wrap it up here before people start throwing stuff at us. That's all I have. I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you.